accused man, wrongfully incarcerated right here in Davidson County. He's been in prison for 45 years. He had been in prison for 42 years before a journalist told his version of what happened. It gave me chills. I don't think Jimmy Tomlin is here tonight, but Jimmy Tomlin writes for the High Point Enterprise. He came to our first public announcement that Elizabeth helped arrange, and he wrote a story about Charles. It was difficult to get Charles to communicate with him. They had to talk on the phone several times. Inmates and prisoners are limited with the time they can talk. Charles was emotional when he talked to me after that. After it was printed, Charles said, "Wanda, that man listened to me. That man heard every word of my story, and that man told my story, my words, what happened to me." It was chilling to hear it from that perspective. And I also want to make sure that you hear what was said earlier about Michael Hewlett. Michael won an award for journalism writing about Charles. Now, he intimidated the heck out of me when I first met him because he asked so many questions.
I intimidated you?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. And he interviewed me, but he didn't take one word of what I said as truth without vetting it. So we are lucky to have these 3 local journalists to help us vet what is coming out in the world today. But not only did he vet, but he investigated. And because of his journalism, we now know, I mean, this is huge. His journalism and the money behind his paper to do some litigation proved there is no police report on a crime taking place for which Charles McNear is incarcerated. That's pretty freaking huge. Wouldn't have had that without Michael's investigating journalism. So he no longer intimidates me. I now love him. His story helped tremendously. Charles was touched and amazed by the amount of detail in those stories. But when you see this man's face over here, this is a man who, from the age of 16 years old, has been forced out of Davidson County to live in a prison. He keeps up with journalism. He keeps up with details. Although he was second grade literacy when he was incarcerated, he's now got his GED. He has some college certifications, but he's very savvy in keeping up with the news. Everything that is written about him, I send him a copy, I screenshot it, and text it to him so he can read it that way. But journalist, he is so grateful for his story being told. I view Michael Hewlett as a justice seeker, a truth teller, because Charles's story being told is essential for his freedom. Charles McNear deserves freedom, and I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'm supposed to be very brief, which is hard for me. But my ask of you is to reach out to the governor. The governor has executive power. He can free Charles with the stroke of his signature on a clemency petition that has been submitted to him since September the 12th, 2022. When Governor Cooper left office, he left 74 clemency petitions. These are not rejected petitions. These are petitions that are pending. Now, what the heck pending means is beyond me. Does it mean it's going to happen? Does it mean it's going to have further evaluation? But my ask for you is to use your power, just like Michael did. We have the details over there you can read, but reach out to the governor's office and request that this man be allowed to come home through his clemency petition being signed. The phone number's in there. You can email, you can write snail mail, you can call. I know we're weary. All of us are very tired. It's overwhelming to be assaulted by the media right now. And most of it, or a lot of it, isn't factual. So we do depend on our local journalists to bring this home to us. But we have a responsibility to not forget this man. This 16-year-old man is now 62 years old. My husband and I visit with him multiple times a month. I have gotten to know Charles like a brother. We jokingly tell him, I'm not old enough to be his mother, so we're going to call him brother. But he is decent, deserving, and journalist told his story, and for that I am most appreciative. Please do your part as a community member and request that he come home. Thank you.